Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Apocalypse Movies. Geo here, and I am joined by Mr. Jacob Barley and Mr. Brian Avalosino for another edition of Casting Table. The last one we did was on the MCU's upcoming leader of the X-Men, Cyclops, and you can check that video out on our channel. And in this video, we are tackling a DC character by the name of Zatanna. That's right. We've heard about this character for quite some time now. If you follow such things as comic book movie news and rumors, okay, they've been wanting to do Zatanna at least some regime of Warner Brothers at some time. But now James Gunn is taking over Warner Brothers Discovery, and we can all absolutely see him wanting to, go into the Zatanna character and bring that character to either the big screen or to an HBO Max series. So before we get into the casting table, and what we're gonna do is give our honorary mentions, for the characters as well as our main choices. Let's go around the horn. Jacob Bartley, how are you? And are you excited or not excited to see a Zatanna casting? I hope you're excited.
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. And I don't know much about Zatanna. Now I haven't read much on much DC content with her in it. I've seen her in a few animated things here and there where she pops up, but I think the idea of her is a really cool character, and she's totally something that James Gunn would bring into the fold. I think he could do something really cool with her, and I think she's also like, we're always looking for in Hollywood, they're looking for characters with different ethnicities and things like that. I think she's Romani or she's basically Italian. Greek and Italian. Yeah. So you can bring that element to the character as well. She doesn't have to be that. The actress doesn't have to be that, but I'm saying the character can be that as well. Because obviously actors play people who they aren't, so someone else can play an Italian character. So I'm excited for the magical elements, and also just what they can do with her like personality and who she is too.
Right. Yeah. She's such a fascinating character. Kind of the Scarlet Witch of the DC universe. Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Just able to do spells, magic, telekinesis.
Yeah, probably the closest thing to it. Yeah,
I would imagine
the closest thing. But Brian, how are you? And give us your exposure, if anything, to Zatanna.
Not too much for me of knowledge, other than when she was in the Injustice game. So that's pretty much my extent. I mean, but it always seemed kind of like a duh to have like a magician be a superhero. Like, it was always kind of like one of those like, this seems so obvious. Like, why didn't anyone else do this? And I think James Gunn would be perfect for bringing this character in. I actually would much rather see her through an HBO show, though. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, let's get right into this. And actually, I'm going to go back to you, Brian. Why don't we be consistent like we did with Cyclops and give me an honorable mention. Somebody who was very close but didn't quite make the cut because it's the other person you see in the role.
That's fair. My honorable mention, which to be honest, I wouldn't mind if they took number one either, is Olivia Munn. I think that she was robbed of the Psylocke character. I think she was fantastic as that, and she whooped major ass. And I think she would be dope doing some magician stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if they like let her throw some punches and stuff. Like, I think she'd be sweet for the character. So I'm starting to talk myself into making her my number one, but the more and more I talk about this right now. But I think she would be great. She's underused, but from what I've seen of her, she's great. I love it.
Yeah, she's definitely charismatic. With a character like Zatanna, you got to have the theatricality, the ability to put on a show and whatnot, and a lot of things that I've seen her in, whether it's her old days back at G4 or in limited roles, and especially Psylocke. What we saw of her, I certainly enjoyed, and give her an outfit, she can rock it. Trust me, she can absolutely. I mean, that's not all of the character, but yeah. So, Jacob, your thoughts on Olivia Munn?
It's not a name that crossed my mind, but that's a good fit. Like a lot of it comes down to, look matters when it comes to these characters. Like, I'm not talking about attractiveness. I'm talking about like the way they look and if they fit at least a similar idea of what we have in our minds of who the character could be. And she totally fits that look. And I think she would be, and I would love to see her get this opportunity because like you would think, okay, they had bigger plans for Psylocke in that X-Men universe if it were to continue. And she probably was so excited about those prospects.
She trained her ass off.
It all just went away.
She did, yeah.
So to get an opportunity like this, I think would be great.
All right. Well, I'm going to flip it back to me for my honorable mention. We just saw her earlier this year in one of the more surprising, great movies that nobody saw coming. My honorable mention is Amber Midthunder. Yes. She's not Italian. No, she's not Italian. Okay. Like, whatever. Okay.
Look, they can change the origins of the character. They did it with Namor. Sorry. And they did it with Aquaman too. They did it with Aquaman and Namor, and it worked out brilliantly for both characters. So that's totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely. She kicked so much ass in that movie. Okay, and she held her own against Predator. Okay, and one of the more badass versions of Predator that we've seen out of all the movies with that character. She's very courageous. She's the type of actress who can act with her eyes and able to, elect emotion. And with a character like Zatanna, I mean, I could see her as a character with, granted, limited exposure, but like a character of few words and will just, magic and boom, like wow you. I think she can definitely pull that off. So I want to see more of Amber Midthunder. Honestly, I just want to see more of her in Hollywood. And so, James Gunn, do your thing with Zatanna like you did with Ratcatcher and the other characters. Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, she did cross my mind when I was thinking about the Zatanna character. I think she's on the rise. She's going to be cast in a lot of roles coming up going forward. And I will not be surprised if either Kevin Feige or James Gunn get her in. I honestly will not be surprised if one of them already talked to her.
100%.
And are working on something with her. I would not be surprised at all. Yeah. And if it's Zatanna, I'm all for that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Nice.
Very good one.
Great. All right. So let's get to our main selections, Brian. No, wait. Jacob, my bad. Jacob, go ahead.
No worries. Go ahead.
Honorable mention. Bring it on, man. I know you got someone.
Yeah. So the thing for me is like, when we're looking at, it's hard when it comes to DC and Marvel, right? Because like there's been so many DC and Marvel projects throughout the years. I'm talking like since the 70s and 80s, right? Till now. So there's been so many actors who have played roles in these worlds. And so it's like, okay, if they played a character before in an old universe that didn't work out necessarily, does that eliminate them from playing a new character in a new universe going forward? The reason I bring this up is because my honorable mention is Diane Guerrero. You might not know who she is, but she is in Doom Patrol and she plays Crazy Jane in Doom Patrol. Yeah. I love the Crazy Jane character, such a complex character. She's also in Orange is the New Black, Diane Guerrero is. She's an amazing actress, in my opinion.
Yes.
On top of that, she has the look for it. I believe she has Hispanic heritage. She's Latinx actress. So you could play that angle. You could change Zatanna to that or whatever. You can just say she's playing an Italian character. That could work too. But I really like the look of Diane Guerrero for this role. And I think she's a fantastic actress. In Doom Patrol, she plays a character who has different personalities, and she has to play multiple different versions of herself. And she does a great job. So I think she would be awesome for Zatanna.
I love that choice, man. She's arguably the best part about Doom Patrol. I mean, Brendan Fraser and her, those two together.
I might have stopped watching it if it wasn't for them two, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, thoughts?
Dang, if I would have thought of her, I would have probably put her at number one.
Wow.
Such a great choice.
I love her. She was like my favorite character out of Orange is the New Black, and she is just... Yeah.
I kind of want to go watch Orange is the New Black just because of her, to be honest.
Oh, she's fantastic. That show's great.
How much is she in it? Is she in it a lot?
She's a main character.
Okay, cool. I'll probably check it out.
There's a lot of characters in that.
No, I know. I used to, see other people watching it.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of characters. Yeah.
Great.
No, but I mean,
great
you guys are kind of making me want to change her to my number one. But yeah, I would be so happy because like, who cares that she plays Jane in Doom Patrol? Get her in there. Like,
yeah. Absolutely.
And look, Brendan Fraser was going to play the villain in Batgirl.
Firefly.
So that was they were already going to do that.
Too soon. Batgirl.
David
now everyone's going to say, why'd you bring up Batgirl? Anyways, no. Great choice, man. Diane Guerrero. I love it. No offense, Amber Myth Thunder, but if I had to choose between the two of y'all, I'm choosing Diane.
That's crazy that you guys like my choice so much.
Yeah.
Gio, do you only know her from Doom Patrol?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I might have seen her in another project, but like, yeah, mainly Doom Patrol.
I think she carries that show. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. Her and Brendan, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Brian, give us your number one. Who is it, man? Who made the cut? Who are you offering $20 million to for the role of Zatanna?
I hate to be that basic person.
I see.
Actually picked this person and then looked them up and did not realize that it was everyone's number one choice. And I really hate that I'm picking her, but I'm going for the Alexandra Daddario.
Oh, okay. That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting Zendaya.
Oh, no.
Hey, take it away. Go ahead.
So it's funny because I saw she's on some new show. There's some new show that she's one of the main people in. And
the Witches of something. It's like
something
show.
Like that. And when I saw that pop up, I was like, oh.
Also from White Lotus.
Yeah. I was like, and I was like, that could be a good person. And then I remembered, she was in White Lotus. That would be a good person too. And then I type it into Google and it's like freaking everyone's choice. And I was like,
wow.
Great. But I think she would be great. She kind of even looks like her in a way. She has that jet black hair too. And I don't know. I think she could be great. I would definitely like to see her as the role.
Man,
yeah, I like it. She deserves respect as an actress. She's a really, really good actress. Especially, and sorry that we keep mentioning White Lotus, but like there's an ensemble cast, so they've got a lot of actors and actresses in that show. But that showed me a lot of range from her, and like she's kind of been like typecast as like, the pretty girl and stuff, but like she's a really good performer. So I would love for her to get this opportunity. Like, why isn't she already gotten a role like this is what I'm asking.
And I just happened to be reading the Percy Jackson books at this very moment, and she was in the movie. So it's kind of ironic.
No way.
Yeah, she was the girl.
Super young at that time.
She was the girl.
She was the main girl.
She was in that show and she was the girl.
Yeah. She was the one. No, she was in the Logan Lerman Percy Jackson.
Yeah, the very old one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I like it. It's a great choice. She already has a body of work, and she's one of those actresses that I think has barely scratched the surface as far as her potential goes.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go. I'll go next. With my number one choice. This one, okay, like she doesn't exactly need the work, but like she's too damn talented to like not take the role and finally be in a comic book movie. I'm going with Anya De Armas. Yes, I know she's busy with the John
She
Wick
was the
spinoff,
first name I
Ballerina.
thought of too.
Mhm.
Yeah, not the most inspiring casting choice, but you know what? She, for anybody who either doesn't know what the character Zatanna is or is not excited, you cast Anya De Armas in that. All of a sudden, that's like finding out that Greta Gerwig is directing Barbie. Like you're like, oh wow, okay, now I have to watch this.
That was
Anya De
me.
Armas, we know she can kick ass. Okay, I'm thinking about that limited role that she had in the No Time to Die, and just how she can her range. Think about Knives Out. And how she was able to hold her own amongst that ensemble cast. And you give a talent like that to James Gunn, and he's just gonna take it to 200%. And I think Anya De Armas would certainly be a great fit for Zatanna. She's got the look, she's got the charisma, she's got the acting chops, and this ballerina spinoff is gonna show us and remind us once again that she can hold her own and she can
Mhm.
absolutely do a 8-episode HBO Max series, Zatanna. So Anya de Armas.
Love it.
I know you guys love it. Come on now, you guys don't have a
Of
problem with it. It's Anya de
100%. So
Armas.
this
Come on
is one
now.
of those where like it would be too good to be true. Like so I kind of avoided it because like when I started
Same.
thinking, I thought of her and I'm like, oh well, she's pretty much on the verge of superstardom, and she like obviously that would be a great choice, you know. So I tried to think of something a little bit different, but I think that would. I mean, Daddario, obviously a lot of people want her, but I think many fans would be very happy with that casting.
I would have put her in
De
mine
Armas.
had I not figured one of you would pick them. Her too.
That's
So,
another point
yeah.
too. I avoided her and a couple other actresses because I thought, oh, they're gonna choose that.
But
So Jacob rolled the
A
dice
plus.
last episode with Henry Cavill. He's like,
I
nah,
did.
Gio ain't gonna choose that.
I just would have went with Theo James, or yeah, if you did, yeah.
All
Love
right.
it.
Well, Jacob, come on, give us your number one.
Yes,
Take us
so
home.
Brian's the only one who's gonna know who this is, but I was because like I said, I don't know anything about Zatanna. All I know is she does magic. That's all I knew. So I was doing a little bit of research and like, okay, she's Italian. She has Italian roots. And if they're going to play into that she's an Italian character and that's like a part of her character and her story, then let's get an Italian actress in there. And I'm doing it again, going back to White Lotus. And I would absolutely love if the actress, her name is Simona Tabasco. She plays
I already know exactly who you're talking about.
she plays a escort in White Lotus season 2. And Brian, if you could look up her name and the character's name for me,
Sure.
because I do want to mention it. But she plays, but the way that show portrays the escorts, like they empower them. They're not like showing like, oh, they're sleazy or they're bad people. No, they empower those characters, and she's kind of a nobody, to be honest. She didn't even have a talent agency until after White Lotus season 2. So she's only 28 years old. She's a true Italian, and she did an amazing job for being a newcomer. She did a fantastic job in White Lotus season 2.
Lucia.
Lucia. She blew me away, like with her performance. Like it was great, and the way she just played different angles, and she was kind of playing the certain, like manipulating certain characters, and like she could be sweet, she can be like deceiving, and I think you need that a little bit of that with Zatanna. And if she had the Italian accent just to go with it, I think it would be amazing. So Simona Tabasco, like this is truly giving a very relatively unknown actress a huge opportunity. and I would be all for it. So she would be my number one choice.
Man,
Love it.
Real quick, because I know Brian's more familiar with this actress, but I could definitely see this being a James Gunn casting right here.
Right?
Yeah, just
the look.
Like Daniela McCore as Ratcatcher. You know, I keep going back to that character, but what James Gunn was able to do with that, and you know, like you said, Jacob, empowering, right? I mean, like you give Simona a character like this, and I love that she's Italian. Like I looked up Italian actresses, and I mean, I couldn't really find one that I could confidently stand behind, and you know, have seen their work. So the fact that you brought this up, I love this choice, man. I love this choice for the reasons that you've said. Brian, Simona Tabasco.
She's great. Absolutely great. She would be perfect. Never would have crossed my mind, but she would absolutely be a fantastic choice. And a great, like you said, a rat catcher came out of nowhere, but is like steals the show type thing.
Yeah.
Great choice. If you watched White Lotus season 2 thinking, Jacob would want her as Zatanna, you would probably come out going like, perfect. Man, so that's a good choice.
Well, that's confirmed. I'm watching White Lotus season 2. Okay.
Finally.
One and two.
1 and 2. There it is, man. Jacob, just you're killing it with this one, man. You're giving us the choices.
You know what's so funny? I originally wasn't going to be on this episode, and then I'm coming with the fire.
Coming with the fire.
With the Tabasco.
That's a good
one. Yeah,
Tabasco.
Those were all good choices. Everyone had really
agree.
good choices.
So let's recap the choices real quick. I'll start off. My runner-up is Amber Midthunder from Prey. And my number one choice, Anya de Armas, obviously. Brian, who'd you go with for Zatanna? Remind the folks.
My runner-up was Olivia Munn, and my Zatanna was Alexandra Daddario.
Nice. Jacob,
yes.
Go ahead.
And my runner-up was Diane Guerrero from Doom Patrol. And then my number one is Simona Tabasco from White Lotus Season 2. Honestly, any of those 6,
I would be completely content.
I'm so down. Yeah.
Fire. Well,
and
we want to hear
remember,
from you.
Who's the most prominent character in DC? Superman. What is one of his weaknesses? Magic. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Maybe
if you look, they were always looking for ways to make a Superman story interesting. What about a character that can actually like disarm him? And I think they could do something really cool with that.
James Gunn's watching this going, does this guy know something about my Superman script that I'm writing? Like, what's he say?
Yeah.
All right. But you know what? We want to hear from you guys. Who's your runner-up? Who's your number one choice for the character Zatanna? If you were the casting director, who would you pick? Let us know down there in the comments section. And thank you so much once again for joining us for Apocalypse Movies' casting table. You can expect these these episodes to drop every month. And we'll be tackling on well-known IPs, big-time characters. But if you have somebody in mind that you would like us to see take on, let us know in the comments. If we end up choosing your suggestion, we'll give you a shout out on the next casting table. But that's going to do it. My name is Gio, and once again, joined by Mr. Jacob Barley and Mr. Brian Avellino. Thank you guys so much for hanging in and hanging out with us. And for everyone at Apocalypse Movies, make sure you check us out every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time for Apocalypse Now, our movie hangout show, where I'm sure Keith and Jake will have opinions about our choices for the casting table.
Good or bad.
And until the next casting table, you guys take care.